You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics, advanced training for the precision shooter. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. This is episode number 55. My name's Rusty, and sitting in front of me is Mr. Nik Halliwell. How are you, Nick?
I am wonderful tonight. Thank you very much.
Excellent. We're kind of alone here, but we also kind of aren't alone. On Skype, we have Greg Small. How are you, Greg?
G'day, mate. How you going?
Good. Do you want to give us a quick heads up as to why you're on the podcast?
Well, I imagine it's not for my singing talents. I think it's probably for my involvement with the Precision Rifle Series.
Yes, as match director for the Cold Steel Open.
Correct, yep.
Yeah, and we're doing a bit of a wrap-up in this episode of that particular event. And joining us also is first place getter of production class, Andrew Stevens. How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Rusty.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. I know your media commitments have been quite heavy since taking out the win, but appreciate the time.
Not a problem, mate.
And I like how he doesn't deny it at all. That's good.
No. Hordes of people chasing me around furiously.
The truth is.
And also shooting his first practical rifle match, Sean McNally. How are you, Sean?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Rusty.
Thanks for joining us as well. And good stuff. And gentlemen, we are now, about a week and a half after the event. And have you recovered yet?
Just on the verge of recovery. But,
just warming up?
Yeah, just thawing out my toes, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's probably an understatement to say it was cold over there.
Yeah, I actually only just managed to finish chiseling my rifle out of a block of ice. So it's I finally got it working again now. It's been good.
I couldn't have a coffee in the morning because the water tank on my ute was frozen solid, so it was cold enough.
Yep, that was the case with a couple of the showers as well.
Oh, it was when I tried to have a nice warm shower in the morning. I beat everyone down there, and all I got was just a face full of cold. It was invigorating to say the least.
Well, I must say that the 22 degrees constant temperature in my motel room was quite pleasant.
I'm sure.
Careful, Sam. You're within striking distance.
Yeah, no, it was good. The showers are hot. Coffee was quite warm. Yeah, so I guess we know who makes smart life choices.
So I hear Ben Johnson's pretty cuddly, is he? Is that the story?
I can't complain about Ben. We shall move on, I guess. Otherwise, I might indict myself. So, gentlemen, you all Greg's obviously was match director, and I was ROing this particular event. But the other three of you guys were shooting. Nick, perhaps do you want to take us through what you were running equipment-wise, and then we'll get the other boys too as well.
Sure. I was running a Accurized Remington 700 in a Precision Rifle Products chassis with just a regular Magpul grip and a USA Inc. Skeletonized rear stock to try to cut the weight down. It was running in a 260 rem, and to top it off was a Night Force NSX 5.5 to 22 in second focal plane. Other than that, I was running 140 grain Nosler RDFs with Lapua brass, and the thing was painted like a Nerf gun, which some of you may or may not have seen around. So
definitely worth seeing the photos if you haven't seen them.
Yeah, when there's a line of black rifles, last event I actually lost my rifle. I couldn't find it, so I ended up just rolling with a nice blue barrel and orange stock, and it seemed to work quite well.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's going to pick yours up accidentally.
No.
I don't think anyone would want to. But
I was going to say, who did you get to get your Smith work done there, mate?
I did all the smithing myself on that one, actually, funnily enough.
Okay.
Yeah, did pretty well too, actually, from what I understand.
Good job.
Let me just reach that knife out of my back. Hang on.
Nice. And what about you? What about yourself, Sean? What were you running, mate?
I was running a bog stock Lithgow 102 in 243, and only picked that up probably a couple of weeks before the competition. Yep. I had a couple of Aussie-made Lucky 13 mags for it, and I wanted to keep it under the $5,000. So I had a nice scope. I was using a Vortex Gen 2 Razor, and that way I could run a really good top class glass and have the rifle fit in and come in under the $5,000. And I'll tell you what, that Lithgow, it's a tax driver. From the very first 3 shots I shot out of it were just hole through hole. And it's just been amazing. I did run a brake on it. Not that a 243 needs a brake, but I got a Terminator T2 brake over from New Zealand and screwed that on the end of it. And it cut what little recoil it had down to like a 22.
That's good.
But it was a really, really good setup, and just a Harris bipod, just something nice and simple.
Yeah, brilliant. And what about yourself, Andrew?
Using a Tika T3 Sporter in the laminate stock.
Oh yeah.
Just in 308. Just with a Night Force SHV on top of it, the 4.5 to 14 in first focal plane.
Yeah, brilliant.
Using the 175, the tipped Match Kings, and Lapua brass. Just a Harris bipod. It shoots better than I can shoot still, so it does the job for me.
Obviously shot well enough with it though.
It fits me really well. It's the sort of gun that you can just pick up and point and shoot without having to try and get too comfortable, and I just love the shape of it. It just does fit for when things are timed. You just throw it up and get into it without having to sort of alter position too much. It's really good.
Yeah, I do like that Sporter stock. Really comfortable. Exactly what you're saying, man.
Yeah, I'd love to get a TRG one day for the same reason, I think. Similar shape.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. So for you guys, Sean and Andrew, was this your first shoot like this, or tell us a little bit about, perhaps Andrew starting first, tell us a little bit about your history in competition shooting, and have you done anything like this?
I've done a few sort of ones. I started off shooting more F-class, shooting down at Geelong. And sort of I learned a really lot about long-range shooting and all the ballistic side of it, but found I peaked out using a factory rifle as what I could achieve, going up against some of the F-class rifles. I didn't really want to build an F-class rifle because it wasn't where the heart was. I want something I can use in the field as well. So I ended up getting onto the Castlemaine shoots. And I absolutely loved the 2 or 3 of them that I've done. And then, when I seen this one come up on Facebook, I thought, well, I've never shot off a barricade or anything before, but I'd give it a go. Things worked out pretty well, but that's about it. Yeah,
excellent. And what about yourself, Sean?
This is my first competition of any form in shooting ever. All we'd done before would be shooting at the farm, doing a bit of foxing, rabbiting, a bit of deer hunting, but never any competitions. We've been down to the local range and seen the guys shoot paper there, and after you've shot 15, 20 shots, it's like it's a bit boring. So when the opportunity came up to do this sort of a competition, it was like I jumped at it straight away.
Had you ever done like mini comps with your mates, like I bet I can shoot that XYZ from 50 meters while standing on one leg? Have you and your mates sort of had like bragging right sort of challenges before?
The flamingo position.
That's the flamingo.
Yes, the flamingo.
Not as such. We grow a lot of pumpkins and watermelons at our place, and we have a lot of delight in blowing them up.
Is that the reason? I was going to say, is that the reason you grow them?
Pretty much. That's the only reason we grow them, because we don't eat them.
they're like the paddy melons at Kai Kai.
That's right.
Exactly.
So you haven't competed in any real form?
No competition whatsoever.
Oh wow, excellent.
And we've got a lot of like spinners and that sort of thing, just in a little 50-meter range in our backyard and the paddock next door. But as far as doing any form of shooting competition, this was my introduction to it.
And you did very well, Sean. There's finished up 4th in production, which is a very impressive effort. Obviously,
small feat. That's very good.
I was stoked with where I came, because I brought a friend of mine with me. I said, as soon as I heard it was on, I said, I'm entering. And by the way, I've entered you too, so I hope you can get the time off for it.
It's a good way to do it.
And so it was great. But I think, because I did the long range course with Impact Dynamics the weekend before out at Kai Kai.
And good fun.
That was awesome fun. I recommend that to anyone who's even thinking about doing this sort of thing, because it just gave me that confidence straight up. You can reach out, touch, 600, 700, 800 meters easily. And I think I was hitting like over 1,300 meters that weekend.
Yeah, you did pretty well there.
Yeah, before then I was only, maybe doing, I think the furthest we'd done was 300 meters at the most. So,
right.
And that just gave me the confidence to know, okay, I can place a round on that target without any, without any effort. You just dial in what you need to, and you've done your research, you've done all your sort of dope, and you'll hit that target. And that really, really was the key to doing so well for the competition, I think.
Yeah, getting some time in behind the gun and getting to know what you're doing. Nik, you finished 15th in Open Division out of 35 shooters.
Somewhere around there,
yeah. Yeah. You've shot these types of comps before?
Yeah, I'm not really a massively competitive sort of person or shooter by nature. Quite often just go out with my friends and just sort of have a challenge like, I'm going to shoot that rocket 700 meters first shot. And if you get it, great. And if you don't, then you sort of run around with your tail between your legs. But yeah, I've shot a couple of PRIs, Precision Rifle Invitationals. Yep. Generally speaking, I don't do very well because sort of nerves get to me. There's always something going on, and I don't really take them that sort of seriously, and I never really have. Mm-hmm. But this time I took it less seriously than usual, and it worked even better for me, so surprisingly enough.
And it worked well. Yeah. Yeah, nice. And I mean, to finish 15th in quite a very competitive field, I think was very good, mate.
I was quite surprised at how high I came out of that. I'm not really sure why. I think some other people were having some bad days. There were some unfortunate incidents where someone's magazine fell out and they had a hang fire, so they had to wait 30 seconds with nothing in the chamber because they never chambered around. So there were some unfortunate events for some other competitors, which luckily I was able to capitalise on. So
what you're saying is you had a good feeding setup. Are you trying to plug yourself, eh?
No, it was a feeding frenzy to some aspect, but no, I think everything in that event. Luckily for me, everything just came together on the day.
Sure.
So that was quite lucky. I think also one of the main benefits were we were shooting in one direction almost the entire time. So the wind calls and stuff like that were very, very consistent. So it made it a lot easier to shoot.
Sure.
Whereas a lot of the other styles that we've done is shooting from the top of a hill, shooting in a lot of different directions, like one's at 12 o'clock and then one's going to be at 3 o'clock, one's at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And that obviously changing your wind based on that. Also, not having sand around makes it a lot easier to to not have jams and magazine failures and things to that effect. So that does help as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take that on board, Nik. Next time I'll try and get some sand removed from Kaiko.
That'll put more shovel loads in.
We'll do what we can. Cool, guys. So what I thought we might do is actually step through the stages. So, Greg, perhaps if you want to take us through stage number 1, which was the 1-2 step.
Yep, the 1-2 step. Definitely one of my favourite stages. I concepted this stage quite some time ago and have run it in a few different forms. But it ended up pretty similar to how it ended up in the competition. The only difference being that the target was a little bit closer and it wasn't a hit to move with the pistol. So the pistol target didn't score and it didn't matter if you hit or not.
Run us through an overview.
Yep.
This is one of the most popular ones too, I think, from talking to the guys.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So it was basically a 90-second stage. We had a pistol set up with a target at 10 meters, and the whole aim was to shoot the pistol target first, regardless of hit or not. Just then move on to the rifle target and engage the 600-meter gong with 2 shots. Hit or miss, doesn't matter, 2 shots. And then move back to the pistol, re-engage that, and then move back to the rifle again, and do that as many times as you can in 90 seconds.
Very good. And how was it in general, like scoring wise? Guys, obviously Sean just said guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, so scoring wise, I've got here in front of me the highest score that we got was 8 hits.
Yeah, okay, and that's only counting the rifle hits.
That's right. Yeah, so just counting the rifle hits. Now let's credit that to somebody. That was Matthew Butterfield.
Let's take that credit away then.
No,
Let's move on.
Sorry, can we edit that out?
Yeah,
We can take that out.
We're actually going to remove that stage from the runnings, won't we? Like, get rid of everybody's score taken down just because of that one. So.
Yep. But yeah, no, so that was that. Yeah, look, I was hoping that was going to be a popular stage, and it was good to have some stuff in there that guys might not have seen before. So I'm glad to hear that it was a popular stage.
Sean and Andrew, have you guys shot pistols before?
I haven't seen a lot of years though.
What about yourself, Sean?
I've shot a little bit. I've been over to the US a few times and I've shot in ranges over there. But I have never had my handgun license in Australia, and I've never shot them really in Australia. It's only under closed, when you go to Miami or something like that, and you can go to an indoor range and shoot a range of things. So, but to have the opportunity to have a crack at shooting them under very, very controlled conditions was just great. And because everyone filled out their forms too, as what was that form you had to fill out for?
It was a notice of receiving an instruction, which is a NORI. Yep.
Yeah, so we all got to do that, and that I know it was just one of the most popular ones, and I really enjoyed it.
So you went down to the 5-minute stage brief to actually learn the function of the firearm itself, how to load a magazine, unload, all that. So you attended that little mini briefing?
Yes, exactly.
Cool, no worries.
Yeah, brilliant. It's good to mix it up a little bit. And I know when Greg was putting that stage together, we're obviously mindful that a lot of guys who are shooting rifle in Australia may have had either no or very limited experience with pistols. And obviously everyone on this call has, but there were plenty of guys who'd never shot a pistol before. So it was, I think it was done well by the guys at the club who put people through their appropriate training so they could engage that stage.